Welcome back to Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. Join us as we venture year-round into the fog.
Make sure you give us a like and a follow on your podcast platform of choice. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube page where we upload every episode in its video format, and maybe a few other surprises as well.
Make sure you're following us on social media to keep up to date with our newest haunted content.
I'm Nick.
I'm Seamus.
I'm Jamie.
April 3rd, and we are that much closer to Halloween Horror Nights. We are one more month checked off the calendar. Take March, take it off your calendar, throw it away. We're into April now. This is when stuff is going to start heating up. And since we last talked, since we talked last time too, and there was stuff we just didn't want to talk about it yet. We finally wrapped up our March Madness trilogy. That was fun. There's been a lot of discussion on that. Thank you for all the back and forths, telling us the rankings are right, telling them they're wrong. That's the fun part, right? It's everybody's, you have your own list. You have your own rankings. You're not going to find somebody else's rankings and be like, you know what? I agree 100%. That's my list as well. It's not how it works. So we had a lot of fun with that. Shout out to Dead Man's Mike. They are actually doing a trilogy of reaction episodes based off of our rankings. They have 2 out now, and the third one will probably be out next week if I'm guessing correctly. But yeah, since we were in the middle of all of those, we did get a bunch of stuff, official stuff to talk about. We have to cover the MegaCon panel. We have to cover the house that was announced at MegaCon. We got to talk about tickets, merch, and I think we're going to polish off this episode with just a little bit of Speculation Scuttlebutt. We're going to bring that back. Just not a full episode worth of rumors going around right now, but there is, I think, some stuff to make note of. And we'll talk about that. There also is, I believe, on Sunday. I think Sunday's Easter. Yeah. This Sunday's Easter.
Sunday is
I believe
Easter.
Horror Night Nightmares and Legacy are doing something they did last year, and they're redoing it this year. They're doing like a virtual Easter egg hunt with like clues to unveil the next speculation map.
That's fun.
It's fun. I remember last year, I think I was at work for it, because I remember checking Discord a bunch. And man, if these clues I don't know how people solved these. I really have no idea how they solved them, because it's just, I couldn't figure it out. It was baffling to me that this stuff came out. So I might see if I could help out at all, but I feel like my skills aren't best suited for that. So we'll just kind of wait until it's solved, and then we're going to have the map and we could talk about it, because we're at the mercy of everybody else's skills. But kind of a all over the place episode today. We're just playing a lot of backup. Apologies if you're watching on YouTube. I think last week the audio video was off a little bit, and it kind of looks like it's lagging a little bit on my end as well. So if it's not completely synced up, sorry. I think that just is my Mac telling me it's time for a new computer.
My internet's not very good either, so as you all may know.
I don't.
So don't worry.
I look over to myself, and sometimes I'm doing what I'm doing, and then sometimes I'm like a little bit laggy, so it might just throw off the audio video. But you'll get it all in full. Just listen. If it bothers you, just look away. Look away.
Look away.
Don't look at me. But yeah, so that's what we're going. We do have a lot of stuff to talk about, so we don't have to hold off any longer. Let me just crack this beer. I thought I was gonna raw dog this episode. I didn't think I had any beers left, but I got one more Bud Light, and I just had a long, like 3-week stretch of work, and I was at work a little bit later today, and I really didn't feel like stopping. I just wanted to get home, so one last Bud Light down the hatch, kill the pack that's in there, and then I'll get some real beers, hopefully this weekend or something. Tastes good after a long stretch of work. Nice and refreshing.
Feel you there.
Crisp.
Alrighty. So the MegaCon panel. This was 2 weeks ago, March 21st. It was on Saturday. Jamie, you were our on the field reporter, I guess. You were on the scene.
I was glad I could help.
Why don't you talk about it a little bit and what your takeaways were? And then I have notes that I had kind of taken from watching a video of the full panel, and we can kind of go through there. But kind of walk us through the day a little bit, the impressions, what happened that day, what was going on, what was the vibes.
Yeah, so honestly, it was really fun. I got there a little bit early and decided to go find the theater where they were having it at just to kind of like scope it out so I knew where to go. And that was probably around maybe a little after 9, and I think the panel was at, what, 10:30? So I was like, "Oh, I'll have time to go bop around MegaCon beforehand, whatever." And turns out there was already a pretty big line lining up, so I ended up waiting like an hour and a half in line, which honestly went by pretty quick. We had some buddies in line that I was chatting with and hanging with, so that was good, but it was probably one of the most, like, I've never been to a panel at MegaCon before, so it was a very formal panel, I guess you could say, compared to like the ones we've seen at Spooky Empire and stuff like that. Not that they weren't good as well, but it was in like a big actual like auditorium with like balcony seating and like a big stage. It was really fun. The interviewer was from Screen Rant, which was cool, asking
Oh, very cool.
yeah,
Big time.
asking. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I was like, wow. Asking Laura, Mike, and Charles questions. The stage setup, they had like fun little like carnival style dark props, which I liked. But essentially they kind of just they started out the first half with how they usually do at the panels that they've done at Spooky Empire, kind of going over the creative process for Halloween Horror Nights, how they come up with ideas for the houses and whatnot, and some of the behind the scenes things that go on, all that kind of good stuff. Some of the stuff we've heard before, but they also, of course, incorporate usually the year that we're focusing on in this case, which is 35. So we did get some insight to that, as everyone already knows, and we did get our house announcement. And I was a little disappointed at first because I was like, man, they really, like, this house announcement was great, and the little like intro montage video with Jack and Oddfellow, but I was like, dang, where they at? And they finally brought them out at the end for the little face-off that you've seen on our Instagram. Nick put a little cut clip video. He got his I almost said WWE MMA kind of like standoff video. So that was good. But yeah, they just kind of went over a little bit of how the house is going to go. They showed some, I don't know if you saw it in the video that you watched, Nick. I'm not sure if I got all of it on my end when I was recording some of it because I was pretty hyped up and I'm not great at multitasking when I'm excited. So, but there was a lot of different sketches or like different art that they were showing in slides for the house and for past houses that Jack was in before. Kind of a little backstory on Oddfellow and Jack's beginnings, and kind of a little description of how the house is going to be, which I know we'll get to talk about it, but I guess we thought it was going to be the ultimate face-off house, but it turns out in the end that these two might actually be teaming up, joining forces for the infernal circus of nightmares. So yeah, it was an overall really cool panel. We got those really fun tarot cards at the end. There was 4 different tarot cards, and they had, like, on the front, the half Jack and half Oddfellow face. On the back, there was 4 different sets of lucky numbers and a little reading. I think it was the carnival, the cane. I can't remember the other 2 off my head, but the numbers at the bottom all spelled out something different too. And I think it was control, chaos, clown, and one other thing, something else, but nonetheless.
Yeah, I think I have those down somewhere.
I was gonna say, we got them somewhere.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but nonetheless, very cool collectible. Overall, a really fun experience at MegaCon for doing a panel that I've never gotten to do before. So it was a really good time.
Yeah, mad jealous.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like
Sorry, guys. I wish you guys were there too.
Yeah, it looked.
Feel sorry.
I
Right,
know.
Kidding. I'm
You
kidding.
should. No, you
I'm
should.
kidding.
I know,
I'm kidding. Don't feel
Seamus.
sad. Don't feel sad.
Someone's got to pay the bills around here. Yeah, I can't talk shit. As soon as I
You
got
got
home
me
that night, I
there.
went to go see Bare Naked Ladies at Universal. So
Oh yeah, you did.
it was a fair trade-off, I
Yes,
guess.
Brown. Sorry.
Yeah, yes, man.
Yes, Brown.
1 week since you looked at me. Yes. So it did seem like, just from the pictures and videos, it seemed like the kickoff to Horror Nights. Like, it just, everybody was there. Like, the same people you're gonna see in the fog are there. It just started to seem like it's coming. Obviously it is, but March is still a little early. March 21st is pretty early to get these drops, but we're also coming off of a year where they had Epic Universe opening in May. So all of the promotional stuff definitely was heavily favoring Epic, and Horror Nights, I don't want to say got pushed to the wayside, but it definitely wasn't priority, because a multi-billion-dollar park is obviously more important than your 2-month seasonal event. So rightfully so. So some of the notes that I did kind of make note of that I thought were interesting, and clearly I thought everything was interesting because I have a billion notes and I wrote these 2 weeks ago, so I don't know if they mean anything. But yeah, it was Mike Aiello, Laura Sauls, and Charles Gray on the panel. They talked a little bit about creative risks and kind of wanting to balance IPs and originals and new stories and how everything sort of evolved. And that kind of went down the rabbit hole of Jack being introduced in 2000 and then the kind of fan ownership of the event. They really drive home that this is like a 50-50 trade-off between fans and the creatives. You know, we as fans are not afraid to let people know what we think, and they're receptive. Mike has made note of this for years, that they see and hear everything. So if you do, make Halloween 3 Season of the Witch House. Just do it. It wasn't an April Fool's joke. It was hopeful wishing. But they went into kind of icons, and the purpose of them was back in 2000. They really wanted to bring like a synergy to the event and have it just have kind of like a North Star almost, besides just being another haunt that's relying on IPs and random houses that don't necessarily tie in. You know, like you can open up a haunt, go through a couple of houses, and is what it is. They wanted to really create a focus that they could control too, with icons being original concepts. They can do what they want with them. They don't have to kind of plead with whoever owns the rights to, you know, a Michael, a Jason, or whatever. You can just do whatever you want. And then they said that 35 is icons first. And that's kind of when they started to lean into the 35 talk. And that's when the fog started to roll in. And I think that's when they played possibly the little movie or whatever, but they refer to it as the Ringmasters of Fear. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's like a tagline or not, because they dropped like a couple different taglines. So I don't know what is officially the tagline.
Yeah.
Because they also referred to it as the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares, which spells ICON, icon. Mike had to point that out to the crowd. I mean, if you're not seeing it and you're just hearing it, you're not going to be like, oh, I see. Oh, yeah. So it spells icon, very, very tongue-in-cheek. So I don't know if they're going with Infernal Carnival of Nightmare or the Ringmasters of Fear, or maybe that's just the tagline for Jack and Oddfellow.
I think that's their tagline. Either way, I like it. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and Undertaker.
Sure, yeah.
It's wrestling tag teams.
I know the names now.
That is when they dropped that video of Jack and Oddfellow sort of walking towards each other. It looked seemingly like a angry duel kind of thing, but we'll kind of get into that a little bit later. They did go into the history of Jack and Oddfellow, and we didn't see Oddfellow for a long time, and then they kind of brought him back. He was kind of lost in the story of Jack's first house at HHN10. He was just kind of a mention. You know, this was Dr. Oddfellow's circus, and that's it. And then we kind of dusted him off decades later and brought him out for this. But it has constantly been a back and forth between them. And this is, they refer to as, it's not a partnership. They're not friends. This is more convenience for them. Who would win? And Mike kept referring to it as that they're the same coin, just different sides of it. And if you flip it, it sits on its side. So it's not really like one is stronger than the other. They're very much kind of like two halves of one entity, whether that's from the Cane of Souls or what, but they both possess a good amount of power, but equal power. And they need each other to kind of be that next level. So that is the purpose of their relationship. It's merely convenience to get to their ultimate power. Whether they like it or not, they do have to kind of band together and you know, do whatever they have to do. I don't know if that's kill, whatever. But that's when they dropped the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares line. And that is the overall thematics of this year. So very carnival heavy, circus themed, all kinds of stuff like that. And they did say that there is like one thing they could say, and then that was when they revealed the mashup logo that is seen on the merchandise that got released shortly after this panel, where it's kind of Oddfellow's face, Jack's face split down the middle. And this is where they dropped the probably the images, but the name first. This is the first house of the year. Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control. And that's when they dropped the key art as well, which is phenomenal work as well. This was the description that I think was given by Charles Gray. We are going to walk to the very beginning through Oddfellow's voice. When you go through the house, you'll hear Oddfellow's narration telling us the story of Jack from his perspective as Jack goes through this carnival, how it brought the police to the circus, and in desperation, Oddfellow sealed him in the box. And that's when we knew, I guess, Oddfellow could kind of go place to place. He's a time traveler. He goes to different dimensions. And they coined the term for that, the Oddverse. Kind of MCU stolen valor, but yeah, that's fine now. They showed off a piece of key art of Jack getting like sucked into like a portal, like all distorted and stuff like that. They made note that in this, Jack gets sucked into the Oddverse, and Oddfellow goes into the dimensional world and tortures Jack. And the battle begins because the power shifts, and Jack starts to figure out that he can kind of manipulate the Oddverse, and it creates this wacky multiversal control battle, essentially. At that point, they showed artwork of Jack hosting a jacked up show, which I think was a stage show at 10, called Jacked Up, and it's the same font and lettering and everything like that. They said, we don't know where this takes place, but the OGs will know. The background of it looked like a padded walls, almost like I would assume Shady Brook, something like that. I'm assuming that's probably the like hint, wink, wink. But they made note that locations change, and Jack and Oddfellow swap taking over throughout the house. And at some point, Jack also does narrate this. It's pretty meta, but at the end, they make the choice to come together as Chaos and Control. So that was kind of the big drop. And then the official description of the house, I forget if they posted this on or not, but they put, take a surreal journey through Jack's twisted imagination as dazzling acrobats and cutting-edge techno music bring some of your worst nightmares to life. I'm an idiot. That was the description.
I was like,
that was the description of the Jacked Up show. This was at, I'm an idiot.
I was like, that sounds different.
Sorry, my notes I did 2 weeks ago, and now they don't make sense to me. But that was the description of the Jacked Up show from HHN 10, and that was at Animal Actors. And it was kind of like a Circus Soleil style show. So just for people that want that kind of information. But at this point, they showed artwork of Jack and Oddfellow on top of this giant green skull that has like a little split in the middle. They did make note, well, we're gonna walk under that and probably like through that. So I'm kind of imagining kind of like Beetlejuice's entrance, how like he was up top, or kind of like sinister and surreal on top of the HHN marquee.
Yeah.
So yeah, they dropped a little teaser of Jack and Oddfellow with their new look. They got new outfits, new fits. The drip is hitting. But yeah, I'm trying to make, it's a very violent, big, conflict-heavy house. And this is actually designed by Dylan Colath.
Yeah.
He is designing this house,
Oh,
which is, for me,
very
a pretty
exciting.
interesting
yeah.
new kind of house, I think, because I think we probably mentioned it somewhere on the last March Madness episodes that I feel like a lot of his houses, they're all amazing and beautiful. A lot of them are very heavy on like town settings, Dead Man's, Blood Moon, Goblins. They're all kind of in that kind of world. I don't know how to better explain it, but it's very like
he's definitely
community.
more grounded. He
Yeah,
definitely does things more in a grounded universe, whereas obviously Jack and Oddfellow are a little more mystical, a little more supernatural. So I'm interested to see kind of how that works. I think it could be great. I think, you take his ability to kind of like visualize a maze and visualize the house and lay it out, and then combine that with, the set team's ability to really put together a solid, just off the wall type of house. I mean, just take Oddfellow's house from a couple of years ago. Like I can totally see it, like that type of aesthetic mixed with Dylan's ability to just come up with some of the craziest, most effective layouts for haunted houses.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that, and that's really all we kind of got from MegaCon. After that, Mike Aiello did make note. He said that a fear divided is a fear diluted, and that's when kind of the lights went down. They scurried off the stage, and this is when we had that Oddfellow and Jack face to face, kind of coming in and then looking at the crowd. And we do realize at this point it does seem like a partnership of fear. They realize they have to use each other to be the best they can be. But their outfits are a little bit different. I do like them. I think they're fun designs. Off the top of my head, I don't remember everything, but I know Jack's kind of is like, it looks like a culmination. Like it looks like bits and pieces from all of his past costumes. And I think Oddfellow's got more of a purple or a blue now, I think, more of a blue suit. So that's fun. I didn't see too many changes on his other than color, but I'm sure there's a lot of little details that are switched up. But we have our first house. It's official. End of March, we got it. I think announcing this house first is obviously showing how much faith they have in the anniversary aspect of this. They're pushing 35 hard. They're pushing icons hard. They're pushing their own creations. To drop this first, I think is a pretty a big stamp of approval. So Jamie, I guess we can go to you then. You talked about the announcements and stuff, but as far as houses goes, does this get you amped up?
Oh, it definitely does. Just from seeing the artwork that they had during the panel and everything and the way they were hyping it up, and it just seems like they really they put a lot of heart into all their houses, but it just seems like they all really appreciate this house, and they seemed, especially Charles, he was like, we could only say certain things and whatnot, but he seemed like really excited to talk about it, and they wanted to give us a little more, but they couldn't, but that's fine, because we do like surprises as well, and I know whatever's going to be in this house, I think it's going to be very fitting for an anniversary year. And of course, I'm excited to see Jack back in a house and with Oddfellow, as we've talked in the past. And it's pretty cool to see it coming to fruition and them getting to have both of their stories told together.
Yeah, Seamus, excited for this one?
Yeah, again, I've said it before, I'm not a Jack guy, but
yeah,
I do like the idea of exploring more of Oddfellow's lore. I want to know more about him. I want to see how he ties into the Jack story and add to the mythos. So yeah, I'm excited. And I think that the two of them can work pretty well together, especially if it's more of like a them versus us rather than like a versus house between the two of them.
I think just one more thing, Nick, I didn't want to cut you off if you're about to start talking, but I was going to say, I think what I'm most excited for, though, is to see Dylan's take on this house and how he decides to the designing and everything. I know we kind of left off on that for the ending of the panel, but I'm curious if he's going to go that like dark carnival style or like the trippy psychedelic kind of carnival style that we've seen in Jack's past houses before, which I think either way could be fun. But personally, just kind of how I miss those 3D fun neon colored lighthouses, but I feel like that's not in his realm usually. I feel like he does, you guys were talking, kind of that more like naturalistic kind of deteriorating towns setting, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think this is going to be very wacky and wild. The fact that it's like a multiversal story, like I think that's our cue that it's just going to be ridiculous and trippy and all over the place, because they showed that that entrance, or the first image with like Jack getting swirled around, that obviously I think is going to be a little
The
one of those
tube
tunnels.
thing. Nice.
Yeah,
I'm hoping so.
I think that's going to be like purple with the zodiac symbols, and like we're transporting into the Oddverse, and that's how we kind of get in and out of this thing.
Exciting.
That would be really cool.
Would be.
Yeah, I think it's going to go heavy on that fun house, wacky elements, crazy colors. Maybe not all of them. I think the scenes are all going to be, I feel like it might get a little jarring, because I think each like little scene and segments are going to be pretty abruptly switched. Maybe with the narration, it'll kind of blend it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I do, because it is like Oddverse, I do think we're going to be jumping around a lot. So it could get almost like, give like a compilation-y style feel. If we're going from like Jack the Clown hosting a jacked up reality show where he's torturing Oddfellow and we jump right into like a circus, it might just be a little jarring, but I'm excited. I don't think they're going to drop the ball, but I'm just, in my mind, I'm curious how they're going to attack this. But I'm very excited. I mean, we've been talking about what this house would look like for about, 3 years since we had Oddfellow? Two
I
years?
think so. 2
Something like
years,
that,
maybe?
yeah.
3? No, might be 3 years at this point. This year, I think, would be 3 years.
Yeah, so like by the time we get it, it'll be almost 3 years of us speculating like what are Oddfellow and Jack gonna be together, because he wasn't really at Oddfellow's year. We had the reference with like the wanted poster, but he wasn't present, which I think was smart, kind of letting it breathe a little bit and letting us build up this anticipation. And I think another note that they made was that we will see Jack Schmidt in this house.
That's what I was just going to say.
Before he's a clown. It's like the human version of Jack. So that'll be interesting because we did get a look at him on the wanted posters going into Dr. Oddfellow's house. So what do you think? Do you think, because this is very MCU styled almost, do you think we get some cameos in this house? Do you think we have like a chance cameo?
I was just
something
thinking,
like that?
since it's the Oddverse, I wonder if we're going to get like different timelines of Jack's timelines, or maybe like past nods to different houses or stuff he's been in, or from different years. So I think we might get some little cameos in there, if anything.
Yeah, I
be
think we'll
fun.
definitely get a chance cameo for sure.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah,
imagine why
true.
she wouldn't show up in it,
Mhm.
because she's very much connected to his world. Will we see other icons? Probably not. I think that this is going to be super focused on these two characters and their lore, especially considering that in the Oddfellow house we didn't really have much of any shout out to any
Yeah.
previous icon, even Jack. So I really do think that this is going to kind of really super focus in on those two and what their story is.
Yeah, I think Chance for sure. Maybe an Eddie nod, just because it's Jack's
Maybe.
brother. So if we go down
True.
to like the early stages of that, maybe we get like a more human version of Eddie Schmidt when we see Jack Schmidt as like people. I think that would be an interesting, like, fun little.
Maybe you have
pull in
like a
there.
small, like a child, like a kid character, and it's Eddie.
Yeah, just a fun little nod, I think, is all you kind of need for that.
Mhm.
But so that was the MegaCon announcement. Jamie mentioned it earlier. As soon as you left the panel, they were handing out these little tarot cards. There was 4 of them. There was the Carnival, the Alliance, the Cane, the Box, and they all had different numbers on the bottom. And the numbers were coded. So 1 was A, 2 is B, 3 is C. So you had to kind of decipher the codes a little bit. The Carnival, the numbers spelt out clown. On the Alliance, the numbers spelt out Zodiac. On the Cane, the numbers spelt out control, or control without the O, but you can kind of put those together. And the Box spelt out chaos. So fun little trinkets. The card quality is amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we saw these come back as the card redemption things that they were doing last year. I already forget the name of them, but the where you tap in with your phone. I forget the names of the
trading
what
card
that was
thing?
called.
Or I forgot were they called something specific?
Oh, there's a name, I think.
The weekly
but
cards they
you
did.
run
I know
around
what you're
all the
talking about,
parks
though.
and
Yeah.
collect.
Yeah, they gave them out a 5 and dime. You'd have
Yes.
the backlot
Yeah.
clubs.
Backlot
you tag
cards.
into the
There you
backlot
go.
club and get those cards. So
Mhm.
I maybe not the exact ones, but if that's the quality, I'm assuming that's something that's going to continue, because they have continued that at the parks
That was fun. I
for
like that.
other holidays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so after that, they did immediately drop some merch, which was really cool. I didn't think they'd already be rolling this stuff out. I think it probably caught people off guard because people were rushing from MegaCon all the way over to Universal to go get that first little peek. But they dropped the shirt, which was $35. It is that kind of same image they brought on screen, where it's Jack and Oddfellow kind of split down the middle. You got red tapestry on the left for Jack. You have purple tapestry on the right for Dr. Oddfellow. It does say Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights 2026, but if you look in the left-hand corner and the right-hand corner, you can see a hidden 3 and a 5 for Horror Nights 35.
Pretty cool.
So fun little hidden Easter egg there. Along with the t-shirt, they also dropped a Sherpa blanket, which is
I love a blankie.
Nice.
$43. I think that
Crazy money.
Not
was
for 43.
only online. I didn't see that in stores.
No.
They also have a sweatshirt now that is a little hoodie. It's $60. It's the same shirt design or same logo design that's on the t-shirt. They dropped a crop top, which is $32. They dropped a hockey jersey.
Ugh.
That is
Which is sick.
$75.
It's not bad. $15 more than the jersey. I think it looks
Right.
nice too.
Well, so I'd have to see it. I saw some people online already receive it in the mail,
Mhm.
and it looks like Spirit Halloween quality,
Cheapy?
like very
Oh.
cheapy.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I think this stuff was like just straight up screen printed on there. Like it doesn't. It
Oh, that's no
definitely
fun.
didn't blow me away. Like
Mhm.
if this was like a legit hockey jersey,
A little bit stitching.
Maybe
yeah, that
that's
would
why
make
it's
lot
a
more
little. Maybe
sense.
that's why it's a little cheaper than I would think for a hockey jersey.
yes,
'Cause it's not like
Oh,
it's,
yeah, for sure.
Not
yeah,
engraved,
real hockey
stitched
jersey
or
would be like
anything.
150 or 200.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Embroidered. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. So it did look a little cheapy. So, if you're okay with that, I mean, I guess it makes sense for if it's Florida, like a cheapy hockey jersey where you might be able to wear it.
Maybe
Like
they
you're
wanted,
not wearing a hockey jersey
No,
to Horror Nights.
and I was gonna
or you're
say,
a fucking maniac.
maybe they wanted it to be like a thinner material. We'll see. If I see some people post about it, I'll look into it. But I do think in general it's a really cool like idea. I think that the like jerseys, like a hockey jersey or like a baseball jersey, Horror Nights themed merch would be really fun. Something
Yeah,
different.
It's different.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, it's definitely different, which is nice.
They also dropped a Guy Fieri Jack the Clown shirt. It's $30. It's got like flames coming from the bottom, and it has the Jack the Clown logo in the middle.
It's pretty badass, honestly. I think we could all
Yeah,
agree.
I need to.
I think
that's
we
it.
all
We were
three
saying-
need it.
I was saying before,
Just
should all
roll
get
up
it.
the
We can do like a
pile, just roll
90s.
it.
And we can
Yeah.
match
Do like a
with it.
90s photo shoot where I got like a Walkman and
Yes.
like some
Yes.
fucking Surge,
Uh-huh.
some
Jean
Jinko jeans.
shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some big ass
Yeah.
Jinko jeans that like flare out. Yeah,
I'd
I
do
think
it.
that'd be pretty sick.
That would be fun.
There's also a Jack the Clown beanie, which they refer to as a beanie, but it
That is
looks
not
like a
big-
bag.
Yeah.
It's $27. Yeah, that's really
That's
all I got. To
Again, that's wild
I
money
get
for a.
I get what they were
for a
going
beanie.
for.
This is the picture. If you're watching it, this is the picture they got on the website.
Don't even show it.
It looks so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it
You
looks
know what
pretty
they
stupid.
you know why they did it though, right? It's
So
supposed to
why
be-
why is that the size? Just do a beanie. Just do a normal beanie.
maybe they didn't want it to be too tight on people's heads. Give you a little breathing room.
Dude looks like he has a fucking grocery bag on his head.
Since it's a literal bag, a burlap sack.
Imagine
What
being
for-
that dude. He's like, you gotta take a picture with the hat. Oh,
Bro,
I gotta be
he's-
the one to take a picture with that.
Who is this guy? He's so defeated.
He's pretty
Who are
funny.
you?
Who
Probably
who
listens to
are
us.
you? Please find and report
I know. Imagine
back.
he did listen to us or randomly just listen to this episode, and he was like, "Oh my God, Fear and Beer, they're
He's like,
making
"Fuck,
fun
don't
of
show
me."
Don't show the picture.
No.
Don't show the fucking picture, please. Oh God damn it! You showed the picture. Yeah. So I mean, that guy didn't design the hat. It's just an odd. It's a very
They just
odd
stuck
choice
it on him.
of
Took
a
a picture
shape.
of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
yeah,
were probably
screenshot.
like, "Look up for the camera," and he's like, like Tim Robinson.
God damn it. There's a Jack the Clown cane glass, $23, not too bad. And there's a Jack the Clown bomber jacket, which actually it looks kind of sick, but it's
Scared
probably
me for
going
a
to be
minute.
super, super cheapy again. But it
I'm
says
sure it's
Jack on
probably,
the
like,
front,
super-
couple skulls, and then on the
Yeah.
back it's got the Jack design, which it looks pretty cool. But again,
I don't know.
like, even in this
Universal
picture.
dropped a
Even in this
bomber
picture,
jacket.
like looks like just kind of screen printed. Like it just looks like it would be like a very thin printing. But
They
yeah,
might have
they
even-
dropped a whole bunch of merch.
I feel like for some of those stuff too, they might have even just used like photos of like what they think it was going to look like online
Yeah,
versus like them
stock
wearing the
photos.
actual stock photos or whatever. Yeah. But
Yeah.
Universal just came out with a new bomber jacket recently. It's actually really nice quality. So if it was like that, I don't know, that's pretty cute. I would definitely buy it.
That's the problem with like not
Mhm.
Universal, but like being down here where it's like,
I'll
yeah,
get-
the jackets look cool, but I'll wear it
Yeah.
twice a year.
I'll get to wear it twice, but those 2 times will be worth it.
Yeah.
Well, judging by this winter, I mean, It was pretty cold this
It
winter.
was a
Yeah.
chilly winter, actually.
Other than those, they also did release pretty limited large canvas style prints of the design,
Mhm.
and they were numbered and autographed by the author. And there was only 500 of them. They sold out on Saturday that day.
Wow.
So as soon as they dropped them, they all sold out. And I got, thankfully, Duff picked me up one because I was talking to him about it, and he's like, "I think there should be plenty left for like tonight." And then I was like, "All right, cool." And then I took a nap, and then I woke up to like a couple messages being like, "Do you want one?" And then he was like, "Oh, never mind. I already got one for you because Jamie said you were probably sleeping." I was like, "Oh, hell yeah." So thankfully, I did not miss out on that. So that would have been, I would have been pretty disappointed. So that is all of March 21st. Let's move along now to March 26th. 5 days later, we woke up and were surprised by the tickets and all of the extras and stuff like that. So we had single night tickets, we had premium Scream nights, plural. We had the RIP tours, we had Unmasking the Horror tours, we had the Scream early ticket, and we had express passes go on sale. Now, single night tickets, we're not going to go into how much every single one of them costs, but they vary from around high 80s to, let's say, 120s. That's kind of the range throughout the season, depending on Friday, Saturdays, Wednesdays, what have you. Opening weekend is 114, and then after that, on Wednesday the 2nd, it goes down to $88. So definitely get them early if you're only coming for one day. If you're coming for multiple days, maybe wait and look into either Rush of Fear if you're coming in September, or some of those other frequent fear passes, because if you're coming down for like 2 or 3 days, at that point you might as well just buy the multi-day pass.
Right.
So I single day tickets, I get why some people buy them, but I feel like it's not our crowd.
Yeah.
I don't think many people listen to us buy single days. Just because even if you're
I
out of
doubt it.
town, I feel like people that are that into it come to visit multiple times.
You're right. Yeah.
So it's a little tricky. I'm just going to go in order of how they're on the website because, again, I didn't want to take notes. I'm like, it's all on the app. I can just go through the app. So next up is Premium Scream Night. It's referred to as Premium Scream Night, but there are actually 2 of them. So there's one on August 27th. That is same as last year. It was the night before opening day. And there's one on October 19th, which I think is a Monday. They make note. These are the kind of things that it says right on the main page. Shorter wait times. You have access to haunted houses with shorter wait times compared to regular Halloween Horror Nights events. All you care to enjoy select food and non-alcoholic beverages and free self-parking. This is starting at $3.99, so $400.
Woo!
I believe last year was $350. I think
Something
that's what
like
we
that, yeah.
paid. They are both still at $3.99. However, you do get a discount if you are a Universal
Pass holder.
pass
Pass
holder.
holder.
You do get a little discount there. Also, if you did go last year, you should have an email giving you $75 off your event. So they're trying to make right from last year because clearly
That's
we
nice.
went. We can give you our thoughts. Maybe it's not the same thoughts as other people, but I was disappointed last year. I know the rain kind of fucked stuff up, and that's not Universal's fault. But it didn't feel premium, and I know we're kind of just rehashing stuff we said last year, but maybe people didn't follow us last year and they follow us now and they want our insight on Premium Scream Night. But overall, we didn't finish all of the houses last year. Now, obviously, we had a little bit of a later start with the rain, but still, like, that shouldn't be an issue on something that is $350 for one single night. We only ate food once.
Yeah.
We each went to a different food booth, grabbed as much as we could, and all met up. But the lines for the food were insane. The wait times for houses were probably that 30 to 45 minute mark. But again, that for me is not worth that money. If I'm spending $400, I expecting to do a lot, multiple times too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe unrealistic expectations because the year before was the first time they ran this event. I think a lot of people stayed away just because they weren't sure what you were exactly getting. But then the word got out that it was like the best the best night ever. Everyone's like, I did everything like 2-3 times. Like it was, and then, the word of mouth kind of carried, and then it resulted in last year being oversold and kind of overpromised and underperformed. But what were your thoughts on is if somebody was asking your opinion about going to Premium Scream Night this year, what would you tell them?
I would say save your money, but I mean, I'm also a cynic. I think that like if it's anything like last year, it's not worth $400. That's obscene how expensive that is.
Yeah, I mean, and it really sucks too because, I mean, we all just love Universal, and it just, it's hard to say because obviously the first year went really well because, like you said, Nick, not a lot of people knew about it. But as soon as something blows up online, it's going to be big until then, and they're going to keep doing it until. So even with, I'm glad that they added 2 dates this year. I think that's what we had talked about when we did our Premium Scream Night episode, that we said it would really be beneficial of them to do 2 days instead of just the one. So I think that'll give them a little more space between crowds and whatnot. But even if just it says shorter wait times for the houses, but realistically, how short is that going to be? 20 minutes, 30 minutes versus like a 50, 60-minute night? Or like, or last year you had the staggered entry into the houses, and now it didn't.
Which this year you do not.
Correct. It didn't specify this year, so I'm not sure if that's not a thing, or maybe it just wasn't added in the fine print or whatever kind of thing. But if it was to ask my opinion, I would probably say save your money, only because we did end up doing more waiting than doing stuff last year, which is a little upset. And honestly, Universal did a lot to make it right. I think it's nice that they're doing the $75 off if you did attend last year. But even though I get terrible FOMO, and I'll probably see a lot of our friends going to Premium Scream Night again this year, I'll be sad that we probably won't go, unfortunately.
No, yeah, we're not going. I would say if you're like an out-of-towner and you're here for opening weekend and maybe doing only 2 or 3 days, fuck it, why not? Like get an extra day in there. It might be really cool. But if you're like us and we're going to be going to this event many, many times, it's hard to risk almost $400.
Yeah.
I'd rather, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, I'd rather pay pretty close to that amount of money and know exactly what I'm getting. And that's for an experience we'll talk about later. But yeah, it's for me, it's a little too risky. I have to see what this year plays out because Jamie, you mentioned that we had said making it multiple nights would probably be better. I was thinking multiple nights, but limiting the capacity. The fact that we don't really know what the capacity is scares me away from it because we don't know that they took the Capacity down. Our idea was, say you want to get 10,000 people into this event, then, cut it down to 5,000 and do it twice. If they're doing this same event twice, but having still a 7,000 to 8,000 capacity, for me, that money value is not there.
And I'm thinking what they're probably banking on is that maybe people will choose one night over the other, and one of the other nights will be busier than the other per se, possibly.
I mean, I think the October one is going to be less attended.
Really?
But again, I do. Just because it's a Monday, I think people are going to be here for opening weekend anyways. All the locals like us, it is tempting to want to go that extra day early and get that extra night. But when it's the same, well, not even the same, when it's, I think, pricier than my frequent fear pass.
It is pricier
for one night.
Right.
That's a big, I would have rather taken that $400 or whatever and maybe gotten express passes for the year or something like that. So that's another discussion. But I guess if you're an out-of-towner, I get wanting to experience it. But I think if you're a local with the frequent fear pass and you just kind of want to go, I would suggest saving that money until maybe you see how the first one goes. If it went really well, then maybe buy that ticket for October. But it's tough even that one because I'm like, all right, well, come October, whatever it is, 19th, I've probably gone to the event 15 to 20 times already. Do I want to spend $400 just to go on a Monday? I don't know, maybe. But but we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, no staggered in times for this one now. I think they did away with that because they saw that it was creating, I don't want to say false waits, but longer waits, which sucks because that was one of the benefits I really was looking forward to. And that was another thing. We didn't really get many staggered pulsed entries into houses last year either,
Right.
which
I think we
it was
only-
promised last year.
Yeah, I think we only did Five Nights at Freddy's and Grave of Flesh was the only two that did it. Maybe. And maybe
Yeah.
Fallout. Maybe one other.
Yeah.
Well, I think
And
the girl that was running the White Six House asked us, "Do you want to wait
Oh,
for
yeah,
a
that
minute
was nice
to get
too.
a
Yep,
pulse?"
you're right. It was
Yeah.
that one.
So
which I get it, because if you do pulse entry and it's a 20-minute wait, it's probably going to make it a 40-minute wait. So they're trying to eliminate that. But that was a big sell for me because that was like, okay, the three of us are there. We get to go through this house and experience this house 100% how it's supposed to be. Getting
Right.
every scare, getting every sound, getting every trigger, seeing everything. Because in the conga line fashion, you have probably a less than a 1% chance of getting a perfect run, just because you're not going to always get everything at the right time. And that's fine. That we understand that.
Yeah.
But when it's staggered, it's like, okay, I should be able to experience these houses for the first time how they were intended to be experienced. And now that's not really a thing. So I think that just really screwed with the wait times, and they couldn't keep up. So instead of doing it, just say, we're pushing them in like normal. It's business as usual. Let's keep these weights as low as we possibly can. So we'll see, I guess, what the reviews are of this year's Premium Scream. I'm honestly, knowing my luck, I'm expecting this one to be really good.
To be, yep, exactly.
And then next year I'm gonna do it again, and it's gonna suck next year.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna swear it off again, and then it's gonna be good again. Like, I'm just gonna miss all of the good ones.
And it's like
That's what's gonna happen.
we had friends and we know people who went to that had a great time, and it was just our experience. So honestly, some people had a good time. Maybe we just got the brute of it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I think it comes down to what your expectations were.
Mhm.
I saw a lot of people unhappy with last year's
Yeah.
event. We weren't the only ones, that's for sure.
And that's the thing too, how I said, like, of course we love Universal, but like, we're gonna be honest if we didn't like something. And it's not that we didn't like it, it just didn't, and not to sound like snobby, like it didn't meet our expectations, but for what the event
It's a
was
lot of money.
what the event was promising, and it was a lot of money, then yeah.
Yeah, for us, that's $400 is a lot of money for me.
That's
Okay,
definitely a lot.
like,
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of money. I don't care
So-
what anyone says. $400 is a pretty little penny to drop.
Yep.
it is.
So moving off Premium Scream Night, they have released RIP tours, which there are two versions, the public and the private. The public start at $400. That one is for more or less. I get why people don't book the private if there's only like two of you and they want to do the RIP tour, but the private gets you unlimited access to as many houses as you want. You do have to book at a minimum of 10 people, though. The public, you're paired up with random groups, and you go priority through each house once. I believe that's the cutoff. So if you have enough people, try to get together for a private RIP tour. And I think that's what we're going to be trying to do this year, and putting our $400 or whatever dollars into a private tour. I would rather do a private tour versus Premium Scream Night, because I have experienced a private RIP tour before, and you can do you can literally do whatever you want. Not in a bad way, but like, you could be like, I want to do this house 5 times right now. Okay, cool. You like, not demanding in a way like that, but that's just it's an open agenda. If you want to do the Mummy 30 times, you can go do the Mummy 30 times. If you want to just loop one house all night, it probably be boring, but you can do that. So I think for me, I'd rather pay the money for a private versus that kind of almost gamble with Premium Scream Night, because maybe it's miraculous. Maybe there's nobody there. Maybe you're going to do every house 2 or 3 times. Maybe. Private, you know for sure, like, we're getting stuff done tonight, and we have a guide. I don't have to wait for nothing. Like, we're going right into the house. So that I think, if you have like a large group and you're willing to spend that extra money, I think it could be worth it. The only downfall with the RIP tour, which I kind of get, but I kind of don't understand as much, you still need tickets for that night. So like, for people like us, with the frequent fear pass, it doesn't really affect us. But like if you are only going to one night and you were going to go do a tour, you need to pay the whatever $400 to $450 for the tour and still get a single night ticket for that night. You still don't, that doesn't include admission to Horror Nights.
Mhm.
It's just the tour cost.
Yeah,
So
that's weird.
I do think that's a little weird. If like say like a big group of 12 is coming and they come for one night and they want to do the RIP tour and that's it, like they have to buy that and the admission pass. Like I feel like it should include your admission for that night.
Yeah, I feel like it should almost include it.
Yeah, because that, or at least give you like a discounted rate, like a $50 ticket or something, or you know.
Yeah.
But again, that's not really our problem, as we have the frequent fear. So as long as we plan it on a day that we have the pass admission, then we're good. But that's available now. The Unmasking the Horror tours, they are back. They are the 3 and the 6 house tours, omitting one property to be named later. They are starting the 3 houses early again. August 21st is when they're starting these tours. I think this is the 3rd year in the row they've done this. I hate this. I can't stand this.
Yeah.
It spoils stuff, whether people want to put spoiler tags in front of stuff or not. It ruins it because I will see it.
Yeah.
And it's tough doing what we do and being off of the internet. It doesn't work. They don't coincide. I gotta be on there talking about stuff. So I'm probably unintentionally gonna scroll by something, and I can't stand it. These tours before the event starts should be photos down. There should be no photo access in these houses until it's open. If you want to go see it early, that's fine. But I just think getting pictures out there to be the first person to get pictures out there on stuff that people don't necessarily want to see early. I want to see the houses for the first time the way they're supposed to be, like the way they're supposed to be lit with whatever, fog or whatever with characters. That's how I want to see the houses for the first time. I don't want to see lights on pictures of stuff that isn't meant to be seen that way. And I love these tours. These are some of my favorite ones. The information is amazing. The being able to spend time in these rooms is really fun, but that early access is just drives me up a wall every year.
Yeah, I don't understand the mindset that goes into wanting to do that. I mean, someone probably could explain to me why they would like to, and I get it. I guess part of it, I guess for someone that like doesn't want to go through it lights up like during showtime, like they don't want to see it. They just want to see the house. They don't want to actually like do it as a haunted house because they get too scared or whatever. Or, some people just have, reasons for not wanting to do it or medical reasons why they can't do it. So I get that, but you're right. They need to either stop doing this prior to opening night or make it completely photos down until opening night. Because for one, Universal can't stop people from posting pictures. Like, people are going to just do it. Like whether you want them to or not, whether you make them sign an NDA or not, they're still just going to do it. They don't care. No one's going to stop them. And some people don't think about like, oh, I'm going to spoil this for somebody. They don't care. They just want to share that. Look what I did. Look what I got to do before the event that I paid money for. Like, okay, awesome. But maybe don't ruin it for everybody else. Like, I don't know. That just seems to be kind of how I would think about it. But
yeah,
I know that not everybody thinks like I do. So
no, I mean, all I can say from my standpoint here is if you're going to go and do these, that's fine. I know photos aren't down. Photos are up. Take the pictures. Just don't post them. Like, you don't need to post them. You don't need to be first. Don't ruin it for everybody else.
No, but we live in 2020.
People are going to,
and people need to be the first ones to look. Like, I did this first. I was the first one to do this. Look how awesome I am. They need to show their life and their entire life online. So
so just
different discussion for a different day.
Just be a good person. Be a good person. Don't do it. The 3 houses and the 6 house tours, they do vary in costs depending when you go. The 3 house starts at $100. I think the 6 house starts at $200, but the 6 house now includes a lunch. That's like a buffet style lunch now. So you have an hour break in between the 3 houses. And that way you don't have to kind of go off into the park or wherever to.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, because that was always a scramble. Like, we'd try to run around, get in somewhere real quick, order real quick, eat as fast as we can, run back in. It was always kind of a hassle. And those are the 6 house tour days are pretty long.
There.
I
Remember?
love the tours, but man, on that 5th house, I'm like, all right, I'm kind
Let's
of
wrap it up here.
getting tired because they're early mornings. You know, we try to get like the whatever they are,
8
8
a.m.
a.m.s, whatever.
hmm
But it's like you're going for a while because you spend about an hour in each house.
Yeah.
So you're looking at like a 6-hour tour.
45 minutes to
six
an
hours.
hour, I would say, for sure. But
Yeah.
do you remember one of the first times we did the tour before the Monsters Cafe closed? They had us do a lunch in there too, and we had like gotten the food in there that we could pick out or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it was included, but it was
No,
I
we had
think
to pay
only
for it.
open for us.
No,
Yeah.
I thought it
Right.
was included because remember they gave us a checklist and we had to like fill what we wanted on it.
Yeah, but we still had to pay for it.
Did we?
I think so.
Mhm.
Really? Oh well,
I think that was just to kind of get orders through quick.
Oh, okay, that's fair. But I still like that setup of not having to leave the park and go out to City Walk or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, much
I
much
agree.
better.
Mhm.
Because like you didn't have to, but like you're fucking starving, so like you have to. Like
Yeah.
you have to go. You have to eat something.
Right. And the thing is, we couldn't go in the park.
No, you got to
Like, the
scan
only
if
reason
you
we
want
could
to go in.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to scan in to go
Mhm.
into the park. So.
Which we could have, but it's not going to do all that.
Right.
But still, yeah.
I mean, the prices would have been even higher if you go into the eat in the park. At least if you went to like City Walk, you could get something for your money. I don't know, but
Yeah. But yeah, so those are the tours. We can't recommend them enough. If
Mhm.
you're coming down, see if you can plan one because they are very informative. You see stuff in those tours that you're not going to see with the lights, like show lights on, just because it's dark. And the knowledge that these tour guides have is amazing. It'll make you appreciate these houses that much more. And you'll understand stuff that we'll give out information sometimes of stuff we learned from the tour that we wouldn't have picked up on otherwise. So I don't want to say they're necessary, but to experience these houses at the fullest, they're necessary.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if you can,
Next
Kendra is our girl, and we love her.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Shout out Kendra. Next up is the Scream Early ticket. So this is the one that kind of caused a lot of conversation amongst everybody because they did kind of word this differently. And they upped the price on this a lot. $70 now for a Scream Early ticket. It says early access. Get access to at least 3 haunted houses starting at 2 p.m. I don't know if that means the houses are going to be starting earlier or just the lines are starting earlier. I don't know. 2 p.m. is an hour earlier than in past, so I'm curious if I doubt they're going to change the hours of Horror Nights altogether, so that cutoff time is probably the same as it was, whatever it was it like 4:45 or something like that? I think like 30 minutes or 15 minutes before that.
You had to be in
start
before
time.
5, I think.
Before 5? Okay, so before 5. So I'm assuming the cutoff time is still there, but I think now you can maybe get in earlier. I'm assuming it just means 3 specific haunted house lines are going to open and you can start waiting earlier.
I think they just worded it weird.
Because it does, it reads that 3 houses are starting at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And that can't be.
No,
Which
they
is
wouldn't have it
weird.
open during park hours.
I that's what I think too. It's worded very weirdly, and there hasn't been any kind of answer on that from Universal. Because when people ask stuff on Twitter, you kind of get that generic like, oh, check back for more information. Blah, blah, blah. Like there's been no like, this is what's happening. This is not what's happening. So it is leaving people kind of in this flux state. It doesn't really matter to me. If they're open early, cool, I'll go. If not, I'm not. It doesn't matter. I don't have to get these. I have park admission. I'm assuming that Stay and Scream is the same. If you have park admission or an annual pass or whatever for that day, you can scan in. You can scan to your Stay and Scream locations, and you can enjoy the night until Horror Nights kicks off. I would be interested, though, if they started some houses early. I mean, I'm curious if this is kind of coming off of the back of Terrifier and Five Nights at Freddy's last year, where Five Nights at Freddy's was at capacity almost at the start of every night. So maybe they think they have a house like that, or they want to avoid that completely. And like, all right, well, maybe this will start a little bit earlier. Maybe they started at like 4. I don't know what time they started. I think 5 was the earliest last year for some houses to open. It'd be like 5, 5:15, 6, whatever. Maybe they do some at 4, but at that point, they're going to have to get other casts
So they
to
better
include
have
in these houses.
They better have a ton of staff then if they're going to do that, because there's a long days, long nights. If
I was going to say that's a long shift,
like,
if not.
that's 2 to 2.
Yeah.
That's 12 hours. So you have to have
Yeah.
2 separate shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to get a cast like C and D, or even just like a cast A is rolling for the first like 3 hours, and then they clock out, and then you go into the normal nighttime shift. But that's still kind of a question mark a little bit.
Mhm.
And then lastly, it looks like they have also released the express passes, the single day express passes. These are crazy. Anywhere from 169 or 170, which is like the lowest, all the way up to $260.
For what?
$290 is the highest priced one.
For what? To add onto your pass?
Single night express.
That's insane.
A single
oh
night.
my God, that's insane.
$290 on October 10th, which must be a holiday weekend.
That's absolutely.
I wonder what it's going to be then if to add it onto the
Frequent fears.
frequent fear. if it's
A lot.
that high, it's nuts. It's crazy money. People are still going to pay it. People are going to pay it all day long.
Nick's probably
Especially
thinking
after
about it
last
already.
Oh, adding it onto the frequent fear.
More
Yeah,
than
look, I don't know. I don't think I can. I could justify it based off of how much I'm there, but based off of how many people we go with that don't have it, it's tricky, right? Like I'd have to like make sure a lot of the people I were with had it to make it worth it.
Yeah, because you would be the only one and you would leave me and Seamus in the dust.
Yeah, well, not just you two, but yeah, you too. But like all of our other friends that go, the majority of our friends usually don't have Express on their pass.
Yeah,
So it would be like,
I
I
could
can't
never
justify it.
I could never
We go
justify
too much.
it, and it's
We
not,
go too much.
well, that's just it. Like, it's not that I could probably afford it. I could pay for it if I really wanted to, but
Uh-huh.
why would I? I can go
Yeah.
almost every night of the year. Like
yeah.
We know we're going
I
to
mean,
get all
I
the
get-
houses done.
no, and
Multiple
look,
times.
I get why some people will do it because simply they just simply cannot handle standing in line for an hour. I get
Yeah.
that. I totally understand that. I just think for someone like me who I'm already spending what I'm spending on my frequent fear pass, what I'm spending on drinks, what I'm spending on food, what I'm spending on other shit, plus my park pass, I can't justify spending another $600-700 just so I can stand in a 20-minute line versus a 45-minute line.
yeah.
I just don't see the value in I just don't see the value there. I really don't.
Yeah. I have the ability to, with work, kind of have weird days on and off. So like I can stay pretty late more often than not. So it's tough. Like if I'm going whatever it is, I don't know what my counts were last year, but if I'm going like 30 nights or whatever and doing houses in the hundreds, what more am I going to get? Like guaranteeing each house. It would force me to do every single house every single night. And some nights I don't want to do that. But if I had spent $1,100-1,200 on a pass that gets me express every house,
Right.
every night, at least once, I would force myself to run around like a maniac every night and use it. And sometimes I just want to chill. But if I had spent that money in the back of my head, I'd be like, do a house, do a house, do a house.
And no, and see,
it-
that's the
it
thing
would be
that
hard
gets.
to want to just
That's the thing that gets me too. You buy this unlimited express for your pass, but it's not even really unlimited. So you're telling me I could only use it for one house per night, which
Yeah.
sucks. So it's like you basically do a couple houses, and I mean, then if you want to do a different one again or the same one again, you'd have to wait in the regular line.
Yeah.
And
So
that's-
it doesn't let
yeah.
you repeat that night.
Yeah.
which is that to me that again is also a deal breaker, where it's like you go to any other theme park and you pay for some sort of express, and I think that's how they do their rides too. I think their express during the day, their rides are you do it once and that's it. You can only
Yeah.
do like one ride per day or something like that,
Mhm.
which to me is like at Disney, at least, having to pay for Genie is one thing, but like at least you can ride rides more than once. You just got to make sure you get the time. So like, I don't know. It just, they each have their problems. So I understand it. But like, to me, that's such a waste of money. Cause again, if you're right, Jamie's right. If I go and like Nick says, and I'm like, shit, I just spent $700 on this additional thing. if I don't use it, I'm gonna feel like I'm wasting my money. So now my whole night has to be house, 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 and I can only do one each. So great, I can do all 10 houses every single night I go. I just, to me, that's, I don't know. I don't see the value in that.
No, and we bounce around enough where like we'll go early, we'll go late, we'll find little pockets of time where like, oh, this dropped down to 30. All right, let's go do
Right.
it.
And
Like
I
it's
just
just
I like being
casual.
able to show up and be like, hey, here's a bunch of people that we're friends with, like people that just, or people that just know us, and they're like, hey, you want to go do this house with us? I like being able to just have the freedom to just go, yeah, let's go wait in line for this house, or let's go wait in
Yeah.
line for this one 2-3 times in a night. With the express thing, I feel like you have to do either everything or you have to do certain ones. Like, all right, we're going Friday night. We got to do like Friday nights and Fridays because it's going to be crazy busy, and it's, I don't know.
That's
Again,
how my mind works.
yeah, it's just not how I operate.
Yeah, I think it allows us to have more freedom. Like if I bought the unlimited or the express, I would be very like, gotta do it, gotta do it, gotta get my money's worth, and I'd kill myself even more than I already do at this event. But yeah, so that was all of the tickets and extras and all that stuff that dropped on the 26th. So I think that catches us up onto everything that has kind of been announced up until this point. Like I said, we'll just finish it off with a couple little items for the speculation scuttlebutt. Some stuff that I don't remember who or where or whatever. These are just a couple little notes that I had put. I think somewhere on the forums, I think one of the insiders that's on there, Pinhead, had alluded to the Lagoon show being very Stranger Things centric. I don't know if that means it's completely Stranger Things or maybe it's just heavy on Stranger Things. Obviously, that house is pretty heavily rumored and rightfully so. It's something that it's been at the event plenty of times for an anniversary year. It makes sense. Definitely deviating from the last couple Ghoulishes. This seems more IP heavy. It's early. This is all speculation on speculation, right? This is like a rumor based off of a rumor of a house that might or might not be there. But would that interest you in something like maybe more than Ghoulish did the last year or two?
Yeah, only because I think Ghoulish was a little corny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
It
and
was
that's
very
just me. I
corny.
know people liked it, so I don't want to throw hate on it, but it was a little corny for me. So I'm cool with something different. Would it surprise me if it was something like Stranger Things? No, because Stranger Things it's a massive property and it's going to be the big draw this year. And we can all say it's just speculation, but we know the house is happening. Like we know that house is coming. I think we
Yeah.
can all say that we're 99% sure that we're getting a Stranger Things house for season 5. So for it to kind of tie into other parts of the park, that's would not surprise me one bit.
Sorry, Nick. I thought my phone was picking up static on the microphone. I was hearing it in the background. Sorry, but I feel like it would be a little bit much if we did get a Stranger Things house and a Stranger Things centered Lagoon show. I feel like you could kind of do one or the other, and I feel like the house would probably mesh better if we were to get it. But not that I don't think that the Lagoon show couldn't work with having Stranger Things as a theme. I think it'd be pretty fun. You could have cool little projections of the Demogorgons on the buildings and stuff and whatnot in different scenes in the water. Personally, I know Ghoulish was a little corny, but I like it. I think it's fun. It's outside. I don't feel as cooped up like as I do when I go see the Nightmare Circus and we're packed in Nightmare Fuel, and we're packed in like friggin' sardines in there. I'm sweating, I'm hot, I'm cranky. Oh, just thinking about it gives me the chills. But I like the Lagoon show. I think it's a nice, somewhat of a people eater and something different to do throughout the night. Kind of get a little bit of the mist on your face on those cool 85-degree fall nights that we have down here. So
Yeah. Another property that has kind of been tossed around. People have said that they have possibly heard something about this. Now, I don't know if this would be replacing something or what, but this one doesn't have me excited. Somebody has tossed around Texas Chainsaw Massacre as
I
a
didn't hear
potential
that.
house. I don't put much stock into this one. This seemed like people were saying they have kind of heard talks about it, but not anything legit. I would be very disappointed if I'm going into a big anniversary here and I have Stranger Things and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I just saw this stuff. Like I literally just saw Chainsaw at 30. I saw Stranger Things multiple times. That wouldn't get me excited at all. I don't know what else more you can do with Texas Chainsaw. We've done it multiple times. We've done different takes on it. I know it's like a classic and a staple and people love it. I'm not the biggest fan. This rumor would get me not interested really any more so than I already would be. This doesn't move the needle at all for me.
Yeah,
I think that's where
I
think
don't.
we're in consensus there.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
no, I
say.
don't. I got nothing else to add to that because you know my feelings on Chainsaw. I think it's a fine movie, but it is not something that I'm chomping at the bit to go do again.
Too soon.
Yeah, don't need it. All right, and the last piece of speculation scuttlebutt. All right, so
I'm
this
gonna
is a rumor
pause.
that's been
I'm going to mute.
yeah, this has been a rumor that's been kind of kicked around online for a little bit. It hasn't been completely confirmed. It hasn't been completely shot down, but it's made the rounds enough for us to talk about it. And I'm trying my absolute best to just not go completely scorched earth on this fucking thing. We've heard Seamus's tangents on Dueling Dragons and Legends Collide. Jamie's had her rants on various topics in the past. I've probably lost it a couple times here and there. This would be my tipping point. This would be the dumbest fucking thing I have ever heard of in my entire life. And maybe I'm the old man yelling at cloud now. Maybe I am like the anti-younger people ideas like this is stupid, this is bad. I don't care if that's how it comes off. I really don't. I don't care if you're going to lump me into the people that were saying The Weeknd shouldn't come because it's not horror. Because I get it. It's you can kind of draw the comparisons there. However, there are rumors that Fortnightmares, or whatever the fuck this is, would be coming as a scare zone this year. I don't play Fortnite. I have never played Fortnite. I have no idea what Fortnite is. I have no idea how or why this would be a thing. I've heard other people talk about it. Apparently, there has been pieces of Fortnite at like Japan or something like that. Maybe they have this thing called the battle bus.
Yeah, but the battle
which-
bus is what you like fly in on. I only know this because my son plays Fortnite.
Okay, all right.
I
so
just don't.
we're-
I don't know who this is for. Like, if in all honesty, like, I'm
For
usually
Colin.
the doom. I'm well, okay, fine, but I'm
No,
usually the
that
doomer
age.
and boomer guy. But even then, like Five Nights, I understood.
I get it.
It's a video
Yeah.
game,
It's
but
horror.
it's a horror game. It's a movie. It's Blumhouse. Makes sense. Dueling Dragons, hated it, but you know what? I get it. It's a roller coaster. There's a place for it at a Universal theme park because it was a ride at Universal. Makes
Yep,
total
it's theirs.
sense.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense. And again, the rumor is this is going to be a scare zone. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
So I mean, at
Almost
least-
makes less sense
at
as a
least
scare
it's
zone.
a scare zone, I guess. I don't like. So let me give you a little background. Fortnite is essentially it is a what do you call it? It is a fuck. What do they call these fucking games?
First person?
It's
Or third
it's
person?
well, no, it's not. It's a third person arena battle type game, and all
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids in the audience are going to scream at me. You don't know what it is. It's basically it's a money dump for kids to spend money on their parents' credit card. That's all this is because they make more money off of kids buying stupid skins for this fucking game than anything else. Like the game is mid, not to use Gen Z parlance, but the game is very mid, very, very, very mid. There's nothing special about it. There's a lot of better options out there if you want to play that style of open battle arena style game. This is just so you can run around as fucking Shaggy and kill like stormtroopers. It's really all
and
it
that's I don't get it. So and then a lot of people were like, oh, this is a smart idea to like get all these different horror people because they have horror skins. Like you could play as like a Terrifier or Art the Clown or Michael Myers. That's not how it works.
No.
Fortnite doesn't have the authority to license out licensed characters. You can't just get everybody that's in there. So if you think you're gonna get like a horror slasher that was in Fortnite, that's there, they have to still obtain the rights from.
Right, but why does it have to be
that.
Fortnite? Because it's going to look all Fortnite-y? It's going to be
gonna
all
be-
like
and what's the
shaded
difference?
And all like 3D animated? Woo! Like who
But
cares?
it's like a costume, so you're not even gonna get that look.
Right, I don't
Apparently,
understand that argument.
Apparently, there's zombies in Fortnite, from what I've heard.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a bunch of like the
That's
little
it. So I was like-
characters, like horror-y things and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. But like, so they just run around and like dance at you because I know that's like the
Oh
thing,
yeah,
right?
well,
They
the
like
dancing thing is a big part of it. Yeah, like they have
Emoting?
like like emoting. Yeah, it's very Gen Z, very Gen Alpha, very kid based.
I hate it. I hate everything about
Nick's
this.
not
It's the
hip
dumbest,
to the new
dumbest
trends.
fucking thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, but I
If
can't
you listen, if you see everything, if you listen to everything, get rid of this thing. Abolish it. Put it in a fucking safe and put it at the bottom of the river.
And I'm with I'm with Nick on this only because like I have been told repeatedly over and over again from people like Horror Nights isn't for everybody. It shouldn't be for kids. It shouldn't be for this and for that. Okay, then you should not be for this. If that's how you feel, if you feel like, well, we shouldn't do things so that family, it's not a family event. You shouldn't have things for kids there. Okay, then you better be against this. Because the amount of people that have told me that over and over and over and over again, like, oh, this shouldn't be there, that shouldn't be there because it's not for kids, stop bringing your kids to the event, all that shit I hear online from these fucking mouth breathers. You better be against this. Like I'm not even trying to be funny here. Like you better not be like,
No, I don't want to hear it, Pete.
idea. I don't want to hear it. Because
No,
you all
nothing.
the ones that don't have kid stuff. Kids shouldn't be there. Stop bringing your kids. Ah! If you're going to be that type of mouth breather online, do not be for this.
And like I get it.
Simple as
Like
that.
we talked a little bit on this topic with Five Nights, right? Where that is kind of aiming towards a younger generation. I'm not against that. You need to get
Neither am I.
introduced at some point. Everybody comes to Horror Nights at different times. They find it at a different age. This just might as well be Clash of Clans. They have little Halloween skins in that game. Might as well do a Clash of Clans scare zone.
Or Dead by Daylight, or
Oh, that'd be
Candy
cool.
Crush.
any number of games that are like that have had licensed characters in it.
Like it just I'm trying. I've sat on this for 2 weeks trying to figure out why it's strictly a marketing thing. If this is a thing, if this is legit, if this is happening,
Money
it
talks,
is
baby.
only for marketing, so you can get Horror Nights characters into Fortnite. So you could play as a Jack the Clown, you could play as a Dr. Oddfellow. And to me, that's just so fucking backwards. Because now at that point, like if we're doing what we had last year, right, with 4 scare zones, now we have 3.
You know what would make
Because this is not a scare zone.
it would make sense if this ever, for some ungodly reason, came to fruition for being at Horror Nights, which I already don't think it should be at an anniversary year, especially. Shit, they could throw it into Club Horror since they always be dancing around in
Fine.
Fortnite anyways. Toss it over
I'm
in there.
okay with that.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
much happier with that.
Yes.
I like Club Horror and I'm going to be there, so I'll have to deal with that.
Give them some
I
people
would
in there.
much rather that than lose a scare zone for some stupid fucking money grab.
That would be the best case scenario here, honestly.
I
Hate
just don't. I mean, this to me, it sounds like an excuse to have them use the character costumes that they already have for the regular theme park.
Yeah.
So you'll just have
Yeah.
Shaggies in
With, like, a
in
gun
a
or
scare
something.
zone.
And you know what's crazy
Like,
though too?
This sounds like an. Sorry, Jamie.
Go ahead. No, Seamus. I was
No,
just
I
gonna
just-
say.
You.
Go.
I was just gonna say you could have told me this was an April Fool's joke and I would have believed you. But sorry. Go ahead.
No. Sadly, it's not.
I was just gonna say too. I don't know how reliable this is of a rumor or speculation. I don't even know if this would have anything to deviate it from coming to the event. But I was looking it up because one of our friends told me the other day that Disney owns part of or has like a lot of stake or like investment in Epic Pictures, which is who does Fortnite. So I would never really think that Universal would maybe like do something that Disney's like involved with already, but I don't really know if that would even make
I don't know
any
if they're
bit of
majority
a, any
or
bit of a
not.
difference or what? Because I just looked it up
And
to
yeah.
like verify, and they own like almost like $2 billion in
Yeah, and
dollars
I
in
don't
stake
understand how
in Epic
this
Pictures.
this is where people don't. It doesn't seem to make sense to some people, or people aren't understanding. Like Fortnite, it's an Epic Games property, so you're right about that. So
Mhm.
like Epic, someone that develops the game,
Yeah.
they license. And I think Nick already mentioned this, and maybe you already covered it, but they license these characters from other people, right? So it's not that like Universal, just because they're using certain Universal characters,
Mhm.
the Universal just has rights to everything in the game. Like, and I wonder if there's like 20 somethings out there that don't understand that. Like they don't seem to get that. Like if they do this, you're gonna have things like Shaggy and Scooby and a few other Universal characters running around with laser guns in their hands, but like they can't use half of the character. Like they put
No.
Star Wars in Fortnite, and
Yeah.
Star Wars is a Disney property.
And so
Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
Like they're not gonna use that. Like what
No.
what are
Yeah.
they gonna use from this? Like if you're just gonna if it's all about just getting the slasher characters, then why not just license the slasher characters, have them walk around in a scare zone?
Yeah, they've done
Like,
that
it
with
doesn't-
kind
it's
of like an all-night die-in style.
Like, I just, to me, like, what is the point of wasting your time creating a rumor like this, just other than to get people like us screaming and yelling about it on a podcast?
Probably.
Maybe that's all it was.
To get people screaming and yelling on a podcast.
congrats, you win.
Yeah, I was
You
saying
won.
you won because you did exactly what you wanted.
No, I don't want to put any stock in this. I'm
not putting
really
any
don't.
stock into
No,
it.
me either.
Now we'll see when these announce. It is very weird that one of the bigger rumors is a scare zone. Like those come out much later.
Mhm.
It just, to me, it sounds like a 4chan rumor. Like just some kid on 4chan wrote some stupid bullshit, came up with an AI slop picture and said, look, this is what I heard is going to happen. And then like everybody took it and ran, because the community, no offense, everybody, you guys take everything way too far sometimes.
Very literal too. Like if
you
it's
take
like
things so literal.
early rumor and it's like it's absolutely
Granted, we're the
like
ones
we
talking
try
about
to
it,
make
so
a
I
point
guess
of
who are we
being.
to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, we do that too, but we kind of have to. But like we also we'll talk about stuff, but we'll also say like if we buy it or not, right? And like I'm not really
I'm not buying this at all.
buying this. I'm returning this.
If
Yeah.
we're
Actually,
getting
I want a full refund.
if we're getting a Fortnite scare
I'm
zone, we might as
shoplifting this
well.
and then setting it on fire.
Right. We might as well get a backrooms house if that's the case.
Sure.
Oh God.
Sure. But yeah, sorry for the rant. I had to get that off my chest. It's been
Oh, don't
sitting on there for
apologize.
2 weeks.
I'm the king of ranting.
We'll cross that bridge if we ever have to, and if we have to cross it, I'm probably just gonna jump off head first.
I was gonna just jump
and
off
hope
it
for
at that
pavement. Just gonna aim for the rocks. Go for the shallow end. It's gonna hurt less than dealing with Fortnite. All right, I think we're kind of caught up, right? We had that 3-week period of our March Madness brackets. There was stuff talked about. There was rumors. There was announcements. There was official stuff. I think we're kind of up to speed at this point. Now, I mentioned way at the beginning of this episode, there is going to be this like Easter egg hunt in the Horror Night Nightmares Discord. I'll probably try to keep up with it. If that ends with a speculation map, we'll probably be talking about that next week. We'll see if we can sneak a live in. We'll see what's going on. I don't know what the weekends look like. I don't know what the early week next week looks like. But at least we kind of have some stuff for us to talk about in the very near future. So I'm excited to see what that's all about. It's still kind of weird. Like these spec maps now are like holiday version, real version, holiday version, real version. So it's kind of like, is this version 3? Is it not a version? You know, we'll just kind of see what's on there for change ups and whatnot.
Right.
I think actually I thought there's one last piece of official news. It's not really anything too crazy, but they did do internal and external applications or auditions are open for scare actors.
Right. Yeah. So if you want to be a scare actor, get your application in.
Yep. So they did put that up there. Let me try and pull this up really quick because it does have a couple different things. Nothing like too out of the ordinary, but scare actor, animated costume character, which could be
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Multiple things. It could be Fortnite.
Yeah. Honestly.
I'll blow my fucking brains out.
Nick, we can't talk like that on here. My God.
Sorry, I'll slam my head against the wall or stub my toe or
Slam my dick in
There
the
you
door.
go. Seamus, you
It'll
too.
feel better than going to see Fortnite. Roller skater. So that's kind of a pretty big like wink or kind of a 98%, I guess, confirmation that the Mel's Dying Zombies will be back and zipping around. Stilt walkers and puppeteers. So all kind of like pretty
Generic.
normal stuff that we
Typically.
see in mostly every house. The submission deadline is May 31st. So you really only have till the end of this month or the end of next month.
It's
April,
true. I
May,
mean,
end of next
I
month.
would assume they have to audition, right? So it's got to be like a lot of step-by-step process in this. You got to get the applications in and then audition.
Yeah.
And then once you get your role, like start practicing and doing, dry runs and stuff. So
Yeah, yep. So that's all. If you are huge into Fortnite and you were deeply offended, I am sorry, but those are just my
I'm not.
opinions. Those are my thoughts. That's it. That's
I
all
will
it
not
is.
apologize. I didn't
Stand on
apologize for
business.
Dragons, and I will not apologize for
I'll never
fucking
apologize.
Fortnite either.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get people screaming, but whatever. What else is fucking new? Well, I think that about wraps us up here. So until next time, this is Nick.
This is Shaggy.
This is Jamie.
Happy Fortnights.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on whatever streaming platform you are listening to us on. You can find us on all of our socials at Fear and Beer Pod.